Welcome, everyone, to today's explainer. Listen, if you've ever felt your heart absolutely pounding out of your chest on the first tee, or you've gripped your putter so hard on a tiny 3-foot putt that your knuckles actually turn white, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, our whole goal is to take that fear and transform it into unwavering confidence. We're going to be using an incredibly powerful toolkit pulled directly from Chapter 9 of our source material, the Mental Mastery Guidebook, Unlock Your True Golf Potential. We are going to break down the exact strategies you need to finally master your inner game.
So, here's our roadmap for today. 1. The reality of golf fear. 2. Reframing fear as fuel. 3. Breaking fear-based beliefs. 4. The Exposure-Desensitization Ladder. 5. Visualizing unwavering confidence. And finally, 6. Anchoring your past successes.
All right, Section 1, the reality of golf fear, facing the monster.
First things first, we really need to validate what you are feeling out there. That anxiety on the first tee, or that panic when you're staring down a shot with a massive water hazard on the right, it is a totally universal experience. It's not a sign of failure, and it absolutely does not mean you're mentally weak. Honestly, even the elite pros feel it. As our source brilliantly points out, fear doesn't mean you're weak. It means you care. It's literally just a signal that you're invested. It means you're in the arena and the outcome actually matters to you. Recognizing that's the very first step to taking back control. You see, we face two interconnected threats on the course. Psychologically, we're battling things like the fear of failure, the fear of judgment from our playing partners, or just plain embarrassment. But here's the kicker. Those mental fears instantly trigger a physiological response. Your body goes into fight, flight, or freeze mode. Suddenly, your muscles are incredibly tight, your grip is way too firm, and your breathing gets really shallow. And it's that physical tension that actually ruins our swings, right? It completely disrupts your tempo and just kills your natural rhythm.
Moving on to Section 2, reframing fear as fuel, the paradigm shift.
Okay, so because we can't just magically eliminate the pressure of a high-stakes round, we have to change how we perceive it. We have to shift from playing not to mess up to playing to succeed. In the context of golf, our source defines fear as simply anticipation mixed with adrenaline. Think about that. It's really just energy. Now, left unmanaged, sure, it's misdirected energy. But if we can start recognizing it as a messenger telling us, hey, we are ready for action, rather than some monster trying to ruin our round, well, we can actually use it to our advantage.
And here is the ultimate mental hack to do just that. Your body's physical response to fear, the elevated heart rate, the butterflies in your stomach, is exactly the same physiological response as excitement. Seriously, they are identical. The only difference is the label your brain decides to slap on it. So when you feel that rush, consciously change your internal self-talk. Instead of saying, I'm nervous, tell yourself I'm excited to compete, or this is my chance to rise. By doing that, you instantly channel that exact same energy into hyper-focused excitement. It's a total game changer. Section 3, breaking fear-based beliefs, rewriting the blueprint. So often our fear isn't even about the specific shot right in front of us. It stems from these invisible mental handcuffs. These are negative assumptions we've repeated to ourselves for so long that we just treat them as hard facts, and they severely limit our confidence. To dismantle these narratives, the source outlines a brilliant 4-step belief-breaking framework. Step 1, note the fear-based thought. Maybe write it in a journal, something like, I always collapse late in rounds. Step 2, find the origin. Maybe that belief started after you lost one specific match on the 18th hole last season. Step 3, do a truth check. Is it always true? Actually, no. You've probably finished strong plenty of times since then. Which brings us to Step 4, create an empowering reframe.
This is where the magic happens. We shift from a fixed outcome to a learning process. Look at that old, self-sabotaging belief. I always collapse late. The empowering reframe becomes, I'm learning to close strong. Or instead of telling yourself, I'm just bad at putting, you shift it to, I trust my putting process. By actively practicing these reframes, you're literally rewriting your mental blueprint. You're grounding yourself in growth instead of fear.
Which brings us to Section 4, the Exposure-Desensitization Ladder, building resilience. Now, here is a fundamental truth from the text. We can't just cross our fingers and hope to be confident under pressure. It doesn't work that way. We have to deliberately train our nervous system to stay steady through gradual, systematic exposure to the things that scare us. We do this through what's called the Exposure-Desensitization Ladder. Let's use the dreaded 4-foot putt as an example, right? At level 1, you practice those 4-footers completely alone, super low stakes. Then, level 2 adds mild pressure, like playing a game where you have to make 10 in a row or you start all over. Level 3 introduces a social element. Maybe you do the drill in front of a friend or your coach. Level 4 simulates a highly realistic scenario where you imagine a must-make putt for par. And finally, level 5 puts it all into a high-pressure match. The absolute golden rule here: do not skip steps. You are slowly, systematically desensitizing your brain, turning that panic into familiar poise.
Section 5. Visualizing unwavering confidence. Pre-living success.
So confidence isn't just some random trait you either have or you don't. It is actively conditioned through mental imagery. By pre-living your success, you build mental blueprints that prepare your body to actually execute. Our source gives us 2 specific techniques for this. First up is the success replay. You sit quietly, close your eyes, and vividly revisit a great past shot to remind yourself of what you are capable of. What did the club feel like? What sound did the ball make? The second technique is the confidence circuit. This is where you mentally rehearse an entire round. You picture yourself walking to the tee with total poise, making solid swings, and crucially, you picture yourself encountering adversity and smoothly overcoming it. Doing this pre-programs your brain, building a deep, stabilizing belief before you even step foot on the course.
And the neuroscience backing this up is just staggering. Listen to this. Your mind literally doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you vividly imagine hitting a perfect drive, your neurological pathways fire in the exact same way as they do when you physically swing the club. No way, right? But it's true. You are literally building muscle memory and boosting your confidence through mental reps. It is an absolute secret weapon.
All right, our final section, section 6, anchoring your past successes, confidence on demand.
This is your ultimate on-course execution tool. I want you to ask yourself, what if you could access your absolute best golf on demand, like right when the pressure peaks during a round? Because the reality is, your best golf isn't just some memory stuck in the past. It is inside you, waiting to be unlocked. You've already proven you have the capability. Anchoring is simply how we call that capability to the surface right when we need it most. So here are the exact steps from the text to create your own mental anchor. Step 1. Choose a really powerful, successful moment from your past where you felt in total control. Got it? Okay. Step 2. Identify the specific emotion you want to anchor. Maybe it's a sense of calm focus, or maybe it's aggressive trust. Step 3. Create a short phrase that locks in that feeling, like "this is my zone" or "smooth and solid." Finally, step 4. Add a physical trigger. You link that memory and that phrase to a deliberate physical action, like giving your golf glove a quick tug or touching the brim of your hat. Over time, doing that simple physical cue will flood your nervous system with that exact anchored confidence. It's incredible.
To wrap up today's explainer, I really want you to remember this empowering thought. Fear loses its power when it becomes familiar. By understanding what fear really is, reframing those old limiting beliefs, climbing the desensitization ladder, visualizing your success, and anchoring your best moments, you take full control of your inner game. You are the author of your mental story. You have the tools right now to transform fear into mastery and unlock your true potential out on the green. To dive even deeper and continue exploring these mental mastery frameworks, make sure to pick up Unlock Your True Golf Potential by Diane Schaaf. It's available right now on Amazon in both hardcover and Kindle formats. So I'll leave you with this one final thought. The next time you step up to a terrifying tee shot, will you let fear dictate your swing? Or will you take control and be the author of your own success? Thanks so much for joining this explainer, and we will see you next time.